What do you think of when I mention the name Godzilla? Probably big, tall monster lizard. Do you know what else is tall? NBA players, like Charles Barkley, who is a average NBA player height. So, tall for a normal person. Why do I mention these two things? Because they had a commercial together. That's right. In a 30-second ad, Charles Barkley, NBA Hall of Famer, faces off against the King of the Monsters for a Nike commercial. Godzilla runs around destroying Tokyo, as he does. And who's there to stop him? Charles Barkley. Also, I don't know why he's so much bigger than normal. Also, he has a giant basketball. So the two gargantuans stare each other down, and as Godzilla glares at his bald opponent, before donning the most wicked pair of pink glasses that might have been put on upside down due to the sheer shape of his head. I don't know. I wasn't a kid born in the 80s and 90s. Godzilla then steals the ball from Barkley. Old Charles gets back, however, and proceeds to dunk on the overgrown reptile, while committing a foul, by the way. With this great show of skill, Gojira shows respect to the man, and together they walk off into the sunset. By Nike. This was a simple, quick, and silly 30-second commercial for TV in the early 90s to help promote the fact that Charles was the face of one of the new Nike sneakers of the time. Dark Horse Comics then made a full comic about it a year later. What? So, how do you pad out a 30-second commercial into a full 35-page comic book? Well, on the coast of California, a Japanese vessel stuck in a storm is trying to radio into the American Coastal Guard for aid, only for Godzilla to rise up and destroy it. A kid named Matthew and his grandpa are roaming the beach before seeing a load of cameras. Turns out Charles Barkley is there for some sort of photo shoot. It just so happens that this Matthew fella is also Charles Barkley's biggest fan. And so was everyone else who wanted an autograph from him. The security do their job and rebuff him, and the cops then threaten to arrest him, which not a good look on them. Dejected, his grandpa then tries to cheer him up by giving him his lucky silver dollar before they spot one of the crew of the destroyed ship wash up to shore, mumbling something about Godzilla. And also, for some reason, Matthews is the only one that knows that Godzilla is a giant lizard monster.
Loser! You're a loser!
Well, that is until Godzilla bursts out of water and onto the shore. As people run around in chaos and fear, Matthews thinks that he can use his silver dollar to defeat Godzilla. His grandpa calls him dumb, which is the correct response. So in response to that, Matthews goes to find Charles Barkley to fight Godzilla, which is the wrong response. Godzilla then mocks a bunch of military people as they try to stop Godzilla. This kid sucks. But he believes that 6'6" Charles Barkley will do what all this military equipment can't. As Charles tries to leave the area like a sane person, Matthews attacks him. Thankfully, he's tiny, so he doesn't crush the man. He then tells the big ball to take the silver coin and battle Godzilla. Charles says that's stupid. Good job, Charles. Look at him. Kid looks crazy. Matthews claims that only Charles can do it, as he is the world's greatest warrior, which makes no sense in the context of basketball because he never played for the Golden States. Charles Barkley proceeds to agree with the child and fires the adult staff, telling him to leave the dangerous area. Maybe he is as dumb as Shaq claims him to be.
These two games tonight have been spectacular.
Exactly what you said, but I
Spell
like
it.
There is a reason why he's never won a ring, I suppose. Charles takes the kid on his sweet ride, and then now decides it's the appropriate time to ask how he's supposed to beat Godzilla. And Matthews proceeds to lie to him and say that it's an old legend to beat Godzilla with a silver coin. Then Matthews demands Charles to pull over to shoot hoops while Godzilla is destroying the city. He offers to play Charles over the silver dollar, though you might mistake Charles for saying it due to how badly the text bubbles are drawn. Art critiques aside, Matthews then claims that they're going to play a game because Charles doesn't care that Godzilla is going to kill everyone. This kid needs help. After tossing the coin to see who goes first, it lands on the edge, so Charles goes to pick it up and then grows Hydra size because screw you. Going back to Godzilla, a news helicopter claims that he hasn't killed anyone yet. That is a lie. I don't believe you. Charles Barkley walks up to Godzilla to show down, and those people are dead, you can't tell me otherwise. Charles then tells the newscaster that he will stop Godzilla by playing him in b-ball. This comic makes the commercial so much worse. Charles claims that Godzilla for some reason loves basketball. My head hurts. They then go to a U.S. Air Force, which they are allowed to just enter. I guess nothing can really stop them. Though, I mean, Charles Barkley is still just a giant human, so missiles probably would kill him. As Charles proceeds to damage government property, Godzilla seems to actually understand how basketball works. Godzilla, why did you agree to do this comic? Please stop. You have such an amazing legacy to uphold. Everyone rushes to watch them play, and Godzilla takes advantage. Grandpa tells Matthews that they should run, which is correct, again, but the kid seems to be holding him hostage and forces him to go and watch. Charles Barkley, the professional NBA basketball player, is winning in basketball. What a twist. Godzilla has enough and destroys the ball. Then Charles gives him a lecturing, and Godzilla seems to listen, and they walk off just like in the commercial.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Then next scene, Godzilla has sneakers now. Existence is pain. Charles then tells him to do a million layups, and Godzilla listens to him, thus stopping Godzilla's rampage for this century. Well, Charles then goes back to Matthews, who's arguing with another kid over his fever tree. Then he sees Charles and shoots a swish, all the while Charles is watching them, and then the comic ends with that. I hate you. How do I even end this video? What does it say? A silly commercial that a nonsensical comic got spawned off from it. I have nothing. I have lost everything after reading this. There is no meaning. Like and subscribe, I guess.